Hello, everybody. So today I want to talk about some of the biggest mistakes that you can possibly do when you're investing. And this actually applies to a lot of things in life without getting too philosophical. The biggest mistake you can do when investing and the biggest mistake you can do in life is not actually making mistakes, but not learning from the mistakes that you're doing. You see, we as humans are not perfect. No matter how hard we try, we're always going to F up many, many, many times. You see, there's a saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Well, if life fooled me, shame on life. But it fooled me twice with the same thing, shame on me, my mistake. Yesterday, I had an inclination that I wanted to start investing more money into the market. As I told you, I sold out of a lot of stocks. Not a huge amount of my portfolio, but an amount, whatever. And I sold out and I made around $50,000 or $60,000. Most of the stocks that I sold out was from like Amazon's, the Googles, and mining stocks. A lot of crypto stocks, MicroStrategy, a lot of crypto stocks, and a lot of the FANG stocks, as we say. And besides for like crypto stocks, I also sold out of my Bitcoin. I sold out of my Bitcoin when it was like 38,000. And I used that money to cover a lot of my margin debt and to rebuy Bitcoin at 25,000 and below and buy back a lot of other cryptocurrencies, some Ethereum, some Algorand, and other cryptos. So I was able to time the market somewhat, although I wasn't trying to time the market. I was just trying to be defensive and figured out what the heck is going on. And I'm very glad that I did this because I saved myself a lot of money. And because I did this, I was able to accumulate like 50, 55, 60, something like that, between 50 and 60K on the sidelines. Now, I always thought that I was going to invest those 50, 60K in Q2 results, which we're currently getting. I really wanted to spend it on Tesla. Now, I was able to buy Tesla on the downturn, and I am DCAing daily on Tesla. But I really wanted to make a bigger shot at Tesla because out of my four must-have holds, which is Palantir, NVIDIA, Tesla, and Unity, Tesla is actually my smallest position. So I really wanted to accumulate more shares of Tesla as it went down. I was planning a Q2 because I thought that the Q2 earnings were going to be terrible and it was going to drop like a lot of people. However, I was DCAing the entire time. Earnings obviously weren't terrible. Tesla now trades at nearly $900. And I didn't end up going, I don't want to say all in, but I didn't end up getting that huge position. So yesterday I was like, okay, the market might be turning. And I don't know if it's turning. I might be right. I might be wrong. I have no idea. I'm just a person talking in a stupid mic on the other side of the screen. And the point is, I'm like, okay, Adam, let's go buy. And I'm like, hold on. At the end of December of last year, I made a crucial mistake. Towards the end of the year, I saw that the market started getting soft. I thought that this was going to be a market correction, and I never thought that we were going to get into a bear market or a market collapse, depending on what index you're looking at. I didn't foresee it. I made a mistake, and that's fine. So right now, I'm rushing to go buy stocks, and I stop myself, and I'm like, Adam, listen, look. Two things. Number one, there's always going to be another deal. You're not going to miss out. What do I mean by that? Let's say you miss out on Tesla today. You can go and buy a Palantir. Let's say you miss out on Palantir. You could go buy NVIDIA. Let's say you miss on NVIDIA. You can buy AMD. Let's say you miss all on those. You can get an ETF. What I'm saying is, seldomly is there never a deal within the sector of stocks that you invest in that you can invest in. And all of this could also be applied for cryptocurrency, and I do apply this for cryptocurrency. If you miss out on Algo, you can buy Cardano. If you miss out on Cardano, buy Bitcoin. If not Bitcoin, then Ethereum. And I'm not trying to make a war about maximalism. I'm just trying to give you guys an example. You guys can plug in any stock, any precious metal, or any crypto in the narrative that I'm trying to explain over here. So I'm like, okay, pump the brakes, relax a little bit. Everything's going to be okay. Also, when you're investing and you're investing a larger sum of money, you got to also play defensive. So there's something called dollar cost averaging, up, down, and there's also something called selling on a dollar cost average. What does that mean? That means essentially If you have 1,000 shares of something, you don't have to sell all 1,000 at once. You could do 200 increments, 200 increments, 200 increments, right? So that you're not selling at one point because you don't know if the market recovers and you don't know if the market goes down. Now, I'm not saying this is a good strategy for anybody. I'm just saying that it is a strategy. So instead of me going all in on a particular stock, and I'm not even talking about Tesla right now specifically, I'm just saying in general, right? I was like, okay, because it was more than just Tesla, right? I wanted to buy other stocks. I'm like, Adam, what the F did you learn from what happened in December? The F that I learned is markets go up, markets go down. You can't time a market. And the best possible strategy in a scenario like this is to dollar cost average. So if you're not sure if the market's going up or down, and when I say you're not sure, I mean, I'm literally talking to myself in a mirror. Just relax, pump the brakes. There's always going to be a deal, and just increase your dollar cost averaging, right? So I'm dollar cost averaging already for the last few months. I'm just going to increase my dollar cost averaging. I'm going to add to the shares that I'm buying in my dollar cost average, and I'm going to concentrate on companies that I really wanted to get into. For example, I wanted to open up a position with AMD. I'm looking forward to their earnings call later on today. I hold a large position of NVIDIA, but I see NVIDIA and AMD in the same sector with a lot of overlapping business, but also they have their own segments within the same sector that they don't compete in. Also, I'm looking at a company like Intel. I know Intel is caca, but their new CEO is getting rid of a lot of businesses that are kind of dragging them down, and I like that they're going to be concentrating on a core business. I also like the dividend return. I want to open up a dividend portfolio for my Patreon group. I don't much like dividend portfolio investing, but I thought it would be cool to make content around that. And a lot of people do like dividend investing. In my opinion, dividend investing is more of a defensive play, right? It's asset preservation. Asset preservation means you don't really care about growth. You care about not losing your money. And these legacy companies that's been around for a long time, essentially they stay stagnant. Intel happens to be at a 52-week low. Now, before you guys bite my head off, I'm not buying Intel yet. I'm still doing more research. I'm just giving you guys one stock that I'm looking at. There's several of them that I'm looking at right now. And Intel pays you like a 4% dividend. And before you guys go any further, AMD was near bankruptcy. They threw a Hail Mary. And Lisa Su, I believe her name is, right? The CEO of AMD. I'm researching her too now. I just started a position in AMD. She turned the company around. So a strong, powerful CEO can most certainly turn an entire company around and change what's happening. Plus, there's a $52 billion bill that was just signed, and $52 billion is just for the chip maker. There's another 100-something billion part of that bill that also helps the sector. Guys, the point is, learn from your mistakes. Learning from mistakes makes you a better investor. The people that tell you they never make mistakes, they're liars. When you're watching YouTube, very seldomly is somebody going to tell you that they made a mistake. You know, I used to say I made a mistake, and people laugh at me. They're like, this guy got margin called. Yes, I got slightly margin called, but very small position because I was able to cover my margins. And I took out large margins and loans against assets, guys. That's the difference. I'm not taking loans on credit cards. I'm taking it against assets, lines of credit. And I invested. Unfortunately, I invested at the wrong time. I invested in Palantir and other companies at really, really higher valuations. I think my average on Palantir was like 23. I think now my average on Palantir is like 18, 17, something like this, if I'm not mistaken. The point is, guys, learn from your mistakes. Nobody's perfect. There's always going to be a deal out there. And you don't have to blow your load in one shot. Relax, breathe, analyze, and don't rush to decisions. I was talking about this with my Patreon group. We have a Patreon group. We have a live. If you guys want that, there is a link down below. Also with my clothing line, there is a link down below. Custom designs, I make them myself. Anyways, and we were talking about how to invest and being a better investor and learning. Anybody that started investing recently should be a much better investor. I'm talking about several X-fold better investor than before this, because now you dealt with coronavirus investing, which is probably when most people started investing, and now you're dealing with this bear market and this recession. And so you have a lot of experience right now. As a matter of fact, you guys have as much experience as somebody that, been in the market for 10 years, right? Because you guys are dealing with something new. The biggest mistake in investing is not learning from your mistakes. That's it. That's all I had to say. Happy trading. I hope this market keeps coming back, but there's always gonna be a deal. Have a great mother effing day and seize life by the balls and go get what's owed to you. Stop complaining because nobody's listening and nobody gives an F if you're having a good day or you're having a bad day. But I wish you I wish you a great day.